Oomph, oomph.
Hello and welcome back to Talking Shit with a Yank and a Brit. I am Gemma, the Brit, and with me today is Kate, all the way over in America.
I'm Flemish.
Oh, yeah.
I've since moved to Finland.
And with me today is
Talking
Cuff
shit with a Yank.
and
Or
a
with that.
phlegm.
With the flu. I'm feeling phlegmy, so maybe that's fitting. All right. Well, I fucked that up. So
No, you
sorry. Yeah.
It's perfectly fine. We're
Thank
just
you.
two tired women sitting here, probably on day 2 of a hangover from the weekend, just doing our best.
Just really doing our best. And if you guys don't like our best, then you can't handle us at our worst, which is also right now. That is not how that saying goes, but you get the point.
You get the fucking drift, all right?
Well, we both had weddings this
We were
weekend,
both at weddings. Not the same wedding.
sadly.
Yeah, but different weddings at the same time. So it's kind of like we were weddinging together.
Except yours was 6 hours ahead of mine.
Yeah,
And mine was 6 hours after yours.
They probably overlapped a little bit, though.
I bet. Yeah, a little.
Yeah.
But they were fun, and we celebrated our respective couples. And well, it sounds like maybe you, based on what you heard, or based on what you shared with me, you didn't break your feet trying to dance in any ridiculous shoe. Neither did I.
No, I even changed into flip-flops for the evening
Smart.
part because my feet were killing me after about an hour.
I wore a sensible low heel with a stacked little heel on it.
Good idea. Good idea, Catherine. I hear that you're now a reverend as well.
Well, yes, I finally was able to, utilize my ministry credentials that I got back in I don't even remember when that was now. I still got my little clergy badge here too, which I didn't wear because it clashed with my outfit. But I did refer to myself as a messenger of God several times. And was like, I have to go pray now, so excuse me.
Oh dear.
Two people who didn't know me at all and probably didn't know if I was joking or not. So there's
Brilliant.
that. But
It's even better.
at one point,
it was messenger of God.
Well, it started with, it was supposed to be a beautiful, fully sunny day. Of course, despite the forecast, there was a tiny little bit of a cloud front that came in, made things a little bit breezy. And I was standing next to one of the grooms and I go, oh, that's rain. And he looked at me with such rage, as if I, by saying that, somehow made it happen. The reason the rain came was because I spoke those words aloud. And I was like, I might be a messenger of God, but I am not able to conjure weather.
That is not within my power restraints, okay?
No, that's witchcraft.
That's Satanism.
Yeah, but
I'm a messenger of God.
God, here to bring I'll pray for sunlight, and then it went away. So
there you go. Fucking hell, maybe you are Jesus.
It might be Jesus in a dusty rose, pink-ish jumpsuit that's pretty low cut and got to show off my 6-pack sternum. So there's that. I don't know about you, but I got a 6-pack sternum. Nothing else about me is bony except for right here.
No, I don't have one. That's a shame.
It's because that means you have boobs. No, that's not what that means.
Boobs.
It means you don't have just 2 flaps of skin on your chest that really don't have anything inside them.
Thank God you haven't had kids and breastfed, because I hear they really.
I might as well
flatten.
have. Yep.
Oh, dear. What else have we
I
been
saw some
doing?
pictures of you and, well, I wanna
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about what you guys wore
Oh,
to
okay,
the wedding because you all looked
sorry.
really beautiful.
Thank you. Ugh. Yeah, your outfit
This
was
is
stunning as well, actually.
meh. Yeah, it was fine. I liked it.
It's
I don't
really
think I can
nice.
wear it again, though. I think it's probably ruined.
Yeah, they always get
But
ruined
it
at
was it
weddings.
I know, isn't that true? But you all look like you were, like, at this, like, really posh, like, formal garden party. I don't know if that was
Mm.
intentional or not, but I liked it, and I was sad that I couldn't be there.
Yeah, it was a shame you weren't there, really. Well, yeah, it's quite quaint and British. It was this lovely village sort of pub and venue with a barn. And yeah, it
Oh,
was very nice, very lovely. Nice weather as well. I think it was the
good.
last day of summer because since then it's just been
Shit.
shit. Feels like winter's here. It's dark early, and I'm already depressed. So
I feel like I've been feeling that since, like, the end of August as the days started to, like,
yeah,
increasingly get dark earlier. Like,
mm,
I was very acutely aware of that,
yeah. As
so
soon as it happens, you're like, oh fuck, it's coming.
yeah, it's not even, like, daylight savings time yet,
I
which is when
know.
you really know, and I'm just so cool. I'm glad I'm gonna feel miserable for, I guess, the next 6 months,
Yeah.
really.
I might get one of those sad
Nice.
lamps and seasonal affective disorder lamps. Were you just thinking of a lamp that was really sad?
Yes. Like the Pixar lamp, but with a sad face on it. Feels I mean, it's out of solidarity that he feels as sad as I do. I have one or I had one of those. It was just like a little box,
Yeah.
and it was I I tried it. It didn't if anything, it just made me feel like I was getting a sunburn, and it was kind of obtrusive. So I don't think that sunlight is my issue. I think it's because I'm constantly vitamin D deficient, so, like,
Oh, yeah.
that isn't my challenge.
My dad got one and said it really helped him. So maybe I'll just nick his for a bit and see if it works.
It's because he clearly, like, has some seasonal affective kind of impacts, whereas I just am year-round a miserable bitch.
Well, yeah. So you're just
There's only
depressed
so
all
much
the
you can
time.
do about that. Yeah, that's what I mean, like, sun lamp's not gonna make a difference because 'cause I'm like that in the summer, sitting full sun.
I fucking hate the sun. Fucking hate the
Yeah,
rain.
pretty much. Mm.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, take your dads and report back on whether you thought it was effective, because maybe other people will give it a try and it'll help them. Because I do think
Yeah.
these days, winter darkness is a bummer for a lot of people.
Especially the Finnish. So just saying, they get a lot of darkness in the winter.
We're very happy though. We're
Apparently,
very happy people. Figured it out. Lots of drinking.
they all have
It's the
sad
key.
lamps. That's why.
Yep.
So.
Sad face lamps.
I also went to the Lake District last week. It was
Can you
beautiful.
tell me more about it?
So it's like in the north of England, sort of quite
How far
close.
from you?
It was a 6.5 hour drive, which for us is
How
lot.
much did you want to die? Yes, that's what I'm asking.
To be honest, it went really quickly. It was actually a very smooth journey, so I'd highly
Hmm.
recommend. Um,
I wonder if that has something to do with the company you kept, though.
Maybe it was just quite easy because you literally go on the M25, M1, and then M6. So it's just like 3 motorways, bop, bop, off, and then you're there. Easy.
Hmm. For 6 hours, though. I mean,
Yeah,
that's like a drive for me to my hometown, which I've done like
you do it
in
all
a
the
day.
time.
Like,
Well,
yeah.
there and back.
Not maybe in a single day, but like I would go and then literally turn around and leave the next morning.
Wow, that's a bit
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's really nice.
Pretty.
Really pretty. It's like something out of a movie. Everywhere you look, just rolling hills, mountains with clouds cascading down them, and lakes everywhere. That's why it's called the Lake District.
Mm.
You're probably very surprised to hear that, but lots of
Well, I just thought
lakes.
there were no lakes in England, so
So that's why they called it the Lake. Just a sarcastic name,
yeah.
because we love
Like,
sarcasm.
way lakes, wink. Really just a glorified puddle, mate. Oh, that was pretty good.
That was good, wasn't it?
I just have to sound like a dumb man, and I can nail the accent.
Keep that in mind.
Yep. Um, so did you camp or did you stay somewhere or what?
Yeah, we camped. We actually camped on the grounds of a big manor house called Rydal Hall,
Mm.
which was very pleasant. Actually, a very nice campsite. They also have like eco pods and these little like Hagrid huts that looked fucking amazing.
Oh.
Yeah, it was really
So like tent glamping,
cute.
but not a full ass yurt that has a floor and a queen size bed and
They
like a
did have
bathroom.
yurts as well, actually.
Mm.
We did
Into it.
standard camping, which
So you didn't bathe. You shit in the
well,
ground.
no, they had a lovely toilet block with showers. They had a
Mm.
little cafe
You still
that did
didn't bathe.
teas and breakfast. I
I know
didn't
you
bathe.
didn't.
No, I didn't bathe at all. Of course I didn't. I don't bathe when I'm at home. Of course I'm not going to bathe when I'm camping. And yeah, it was really nice, really lovely. But
Good.
I did discover that I don't think I can hack camping for more than like 2 nights.
You just
Um,
learned that about yourself?
yeah, yeah. I just missed
No, that sounds rough.
like I missed walls and I missed a proper bed.
Mhm.
Especially my tent is one that you can't fully stand up in. So whenever you're getting changed or whatever, you either have to sit down or you're like bent over. Just yeah, by the end, I was like, I'm just looking forward to an actual room now.
Yeah. No, I learned that about myself probably by the age of like 4.
Ah, you learn young.
Yeah.
Very self-aware.
No, not really, but we used to take a camping trip a lot where it would be 2 nights, and I would say I was ready to go probably after 1, but, FOMO. But,
Yeah.
the other thing is it's like you think you've got this great tent. It's like, yeah, it's a six-person tent, but in reality, it's like 2 people can
Mm,
sleep in it and not be, like, literally on top of each other,
yeah.
right?
'Cause the amount of shit
Because
you
it's
have to
like
bring as well.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We've got like chairs, we've got, cool boxes, we've got bags of food and bags of
Mhm.
clothes. And I'm like, where the fuck is all this stuff going to go?
Yeah.
I also discovered that my tent isn't overly waterproof. I mean, it is waterproof, but not if it really rains. And it did really rain for 2 of the nights. So that was fun.
So it's, like, water resistant-ish.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm. Mhm.
that's a
'Kay.
good description of it. But no, overall, it was really fun. We did loads of walking, we did a bit of wild swimming,
Oh.
and yeah, it's really good.
Hmm.
Would
Sounds like
recommend.
I
You
it
should go.
looked pretty. It looked pretty. I would just probably wanna stay, like, in the yurt at this point if I was gonna do more
Oh
than,
yeah,
like, a day or 2. Yeah.
yeah. I think next time I'd get an Airbnb, or yeah, stay in a yurt,
Stay in the
or
hall.
a cabin or
The
something.
manor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or the manor. Also, turned out that the campsite we were on was we found out when we got there was a Christian retreat. So we're like, shit, we're gonna get pulled
All
into a
my
cult.
brethren of the cloth were all there.
Yeah, we met some of your fellow brothers and sisters.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nice. I hope they prayed for you and your souls.
They did, yeah. We went to early morning prayers every morning at 6 a.m.
Br Ugh. That makes me think of when I went to camp, like, kids camp that you see in the movies, like, in The Parent Trap with Lindsay Lohan, they go to camp. I went to
Hmm.
camp like that,
Yeah.
and they They made us, because it was also kind of like a Christian-y camp, and they made us pray very early and all the time, and even as, like, a 10-year-old or whatever who didn't, wasn't at the point where it's like, "God, I gotta sleep in until noon." I was like, Why? God doesn't care if it's at 7 or 8 or
No.
9. Why does it have to be at 6 a.m.?
Mm. Actually, I think God would like me to have a lay-in today.
I think God would prefer that I don't bite the head off of the next person who talks to me because I'm so crabby.
And that, yeah, exactly.
So, well,
There
cool.
we have it.
Sounds like you had a good time then. You were doing fun stuff, and I was just in
Work,
the
work, work,
trenches.
work, work, work. Shibby, shibby, here,
Yeah.
garp, 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 garp,
Mhm,
garp.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
Shabba-lubba, garp,
Yep.
garp, 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 garp. Pretty sure that's the words.
I mean, how do you how do you know that's, like, basically what I say all day, every day? I don't actually even say words.
Just on the phone to people like garp, 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 garp.
Yep. Yeah, I get paid the big bucks for that.
No wonder you're so successful.
Truly, people really respect me in my field.
I want to bring up something with you. Something that
Is it a
annoys
bone to
me.
pick
It's a
about
bone to
me?
pick. It's not entirely your fault, but you've probably had something to do with it. Um
Okay.
so Americans, instead of saying by accident, they say on accident, and I just don't understand it. How does something happen on accident? On an accident, on accident.
Well, Gemma, if
Mm.
I may, this is because accident not only is a verb, but it's also a noun in this sense.
Ah.
So on accident means, unintentional, whereas an accident is, something like a car crash or an injury or like a physical thing. And maybe verb isn't the right word for it. I suppose it still is a noun. Just pretend, audience at home, I'm making sense here as I try to articulate this thing that I actually don't really know the answer to. I think it's the same as people saying, I hear it. I don't know if this is true, but people are like, "Oh, can you borrow me 50 quid or $50?" And it's like,
Mm.
no, no, like
No.
you're not doing the person you're asking is not doing the borrowing.
Yeah,
You're doing the
you're
borrowing.
borrowing.
They're
Yeah.
lending. Yes.
Yes. There's
So I think
another
it's just
word for
how,
this.
yeah, just how language maybe has evolved, probably.
Yeah. Just
But
really
on
grinds
accident to
my
me doesn't
gears.
sound weird. I just,
That's
by accident
because
also sounds fine though.
does it?
Yeah,
So do you
I like
think
them both.
you lot say them both?
I think probably I have maybe also said them both and have heard other people say them both, but on accident
If I ever hear
is a
you say
frequently
on
used.
accident, then yeah.
Right in the face. Wham,
Backhand.
bam, right in the kisser. And then maybe coming back for the forehand. I wouldn't blame you. Um,
It's just when I keep
so
hearing on
something
like certain things, people are like, "Yeah, it happened on accident." I'm like, "Didn't happen on an accident. It happened by accident."
tell me more about why this grind your gears so much.
um, I don't know. I do get a bit funny about certain language things. Maybe it's like the um, what's the fucking word? I want to say patriarchal, but that's not right. Um, the what's the word when people really love their country?
Patriotic?
Patriotic. Maybe it's the patriotic side of me that gets annoyed because people change our lovely language. I don't know what it is.
So I did a quick Google.
Mm?
I mean, and your by accident is the correct phrase. But on accident, I think it's considered non-standard, which doesn't mean incorrect.
Well,
It's just based on country, dialect, whatever. And
yeah.
this Reddit post, which is always accurate, says it's more common acceptable among younger speakers of American English and then under 40. So, and this was posted 2 years ago,
So
which
it's
means
like
I have a
slang.
couple more years. Yes, I have a couple more years of being able to use on accident before you come back to me. Okay.
Fine, I'll give you a couple of years. There's another one, which you mentioned earlier, actually, which was could care less.
Mm-hmm.
So in England, we say I couldn't care less, as in to express
Yeah.
how little of a shit I give, that I have no cares left to give, and therefore I could not care any less.
Mm-hmm.
But I've heard the old Yankee Doodles say could care less. So that implies that you could give less of a shit. So actually, you think
I
it's
give
all
some
right?
shits.
Yeah.
So you and I agree here. The people who say could care less are just wrong.
Okay,
They're
good.
fully wrong. That's not what the phrase is. And I think it's just people when we speak and shit runs together. So then, like, it's, when people say, I couldn't care less, like, people
Maybe
think
they
it's
just
could,
hear it. Yeah, okay, they hear it wrong.
Yeah.
Mm, I see.
Well, but people do say it because I've heard it and I'm just like, oh, okay. So you do care, and that's great.
What was the other one
It's the
you said
same as
earlier?
like, irregardless.
Irregardless.
When
Yeah,
yeah,
that's great.
regardless is one. Intents and purposes, and people say intensive purposes. Do you know that? Have you heard that?
No, but
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah. Um,
Oh, I like that.
I know there's more. But something I know Brits say a lot, to be fair, I feel like that's something you guys
To
use a
be fair,
lot.
yeah.
No word of a lie. And these don't necessarily annoy me. They're just like sometimes I'll hear them and I'll be like, what did that phrase like add to your overall point?
And actually, they
But
usually mean the
in
opposite,
it confuses me.
innit?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
So with like no word of a lie, often people will be embellishing a story. Like, no word of a lie, that man had 5 penises. It'll be something like
I
that.
would believe you. I would believe you if you said that. Because you said no word of a lie. So that's just
Mm.
confusing. Tell me about in it, because I feel like that is used in such a way. Because it sounds like you're saying isn't it, right? And it's
Yeah,
kind of a mashup of that.
yeah,
But then it's like,
it's just slang and laziness for isn't it? Let's just go in it.
but I've seen it
In
on
it, bruv.
shows, yeah, where people are using it and you wouldn't be saying isn't it before or after the sentence. Like, I can't think of an example now. Maybe it was like in the Misfits and there was like like a fight and they're like, you taking the piss in it or something, and it's like, that doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't actually, does it? Yeah, I know what you mean, actually, yeah. Hmm. Taking a piss in it.
Hmm.
I guess, yeah, also in that context means aren't you?
Okay. Okay. So it's kind of like some languages have certain phrases that kind of pivot depending on the context.
Yeah.
Okay. I accept that. Maybe.
I mean, we've got loads that come in and out of fashion. It tends to be the youths that come up with them.
Well, yeah.
Like at the moment, quite a popular one is say less, which is like your say more, but Say less. It's like, yeah, I understand you. I agree.
Say no more. Yeah.
Say no more. Yeah, that would have made more sense.
One I heard recently that I had to clarify with the youth I was talking to. He kept
Mhm.
referring to someone as laid down, and I was just like, "Okay. Do you mean chill or laid back?"
Or laid back. Yeah.
I just need I just need to clarify, because that's how I'm perceiving it, but I'm like, or are you actually talking about this person laying down?
This guy's laid down, man.
Yeah. I
That's
had never
great.
heard it before. So, that was a new one.
That is a new one. What would you say is the funniest British word?
Oh,
Would you say kerfuffle or flabbergasted?
I don't use kerfuffle really
You
at
should.
all, but I know it's a word I'm familiar with. It's a good one because it's just honestly, it just makes me think of, like, Marshmallow Whip. I don't know
What?
why. I've used flabbergasted a time or two. So, I think probably for daily use, flabbergasted, but there's a time and a place for a good kerfuffle.
Oh, yeah. It's nothing better than getting in a good old kerfuffle. Just getting all stressed and there's
I
stuff
mean,
everywhere and, oh God, I'm in a right kerfuffle.
it's very, like, grandma not wanting to curse kind of word, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I say it quite a lot, to be honest.
I've never heard you say it once.
Well, you've never seen me in a kerfuffle, have you?
I guess not. You're very laid down. God, and you'd think we scripted this.
I know. Oh, man.
I know that I've gotten into debates with Nigel and maybe even some of you guys about just like some of the words you guys use and me being like, that doesn't make any sense. Like somehow I'm the arbiter of your language. And maybe I should be because I'm always right. But one thing that confused me was homely here means like ugly. Like that is a homely woman.
Really?
You are an ugly woman. Yes. And it's not
Wow.
what that means there.
No. Not at all. I'd take
Kind of the
homely as
opposite,
quite a
actually.
compliment, yeah.
Yeah.
You're just over here
So imagine
insulting everyone in your head.
more like I hear someone say it and I'm like, I would disagree. That is not ugly, or she is not ugly, or this is not ugly. What are you talking about?
Oh, that's great. I never knew that one.
It's a weird one that got switched because I feel like homely in the way you guys use it kind of makes sense. Like, I think we would just say this is homey and cozy, right?
Yeah.
But nope,
We'd
it
say,
had to be
yeah,
different.
homely. Homely. We would say cozy as well, yeah. How interesting.
Did you know, just because I saw it, the question was, why do British people say in it so much? It's shortened form of the phrase, isn't it? In it has roots in Asian and Jamaican communities in London. Did you know that?
Yeah, I would say that, yeah.
Well, then, never mind. You already knew. My mistake. What about chuffed? That is a word that makes me maybe a little uncomfortable.
Oh, really? Just means I'm really happy. Pleased.
Yeah, but it it sounds like chafed,
It does, yeah, doesn't it? Or guffed.
which what is guffed?
A fart.
No, it is not. I've never heard that.
What?
I've
No,
never heard any of you say that. You are literally pulling my leg right now.
literally not. I couldn't even if I wanted to.
Literally.
Literally.
Let go of my leg.
Yeah, it's like you don't I guess we just say fart or
Yeah.
pop
Wind, even.
or wind, but I guess it's something like parents would say in front of their kids so that they don't pick up the word fart.
Okay.
I don't
So, like,
know.
the real proper British so, like, the Queen says
Yeah,
"guffed."
I've just guffed, yeah. I don't know, I don't think she would say that. Uh,
She'd probably just not say any of those words because she was the fucking queen.
no, I don't think she ever farted, actually.
She probably didn't. That's why she looked so crabby all the time.
Yeah, maybe.
A word I learned, like, I think yesterday, "gip."
Gip. Huh, huh. That's
Yeah.
what gip is. Mm,
S Yeah, I didn't no
never heard that before.
no idea. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Is that because Nigel was
Is it just,
gipping?
like, a fake vomit noise?
Yeah. Or like, I guess it could even mean actual vomiting. I'm gipping out. Used to say that quite a lot when back in the stoner days. Gipping out.
Oh,
Yeah.
because 'cause you've gotten too many substances, okay.
Too
Hmm.
many
I mean,
substances.
vomit is an ugly word, so I get it.
We used to say wig out quite a lot as well. I'm wigging out.
Mm.
Stop wigging out.
We did too. Yeah, we
Yeah.
did too.
Cool, 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 cool.
So what else about my country pisses you off?
Well, I was just gonna read
Anything
you
else?
some of it. Um, like we have like sayings that say something but mean something else. So like this is a list of things that Brits say when they're absolutely livid.
Okay.
What's going on in here? With all due respect, that means there's no respect.
Absolutely no
Mhm.
respect.
I beg your pardon. Um, I've had just about enough of this. That's a good one. Just about enough of this. And now look, can I help you? These are all things that if British people say them to you, they're probably really pissed off. Just keep that in mind.
So what I'm hearing is the Brits are actually more passive aggressive than Minnesotans are,
Mm, we win.
which is interesting. Yeah, I guess. Um, yeah, that's I mean, I'm sure I feel like I've been asked how someone can help me many times while I'm over there, and now I just think I just greatly upset all those people.
It really depends on the tone, though. Like if you're in a shop and they ask, "Can they help you?" then they'd probably genuinely help you. But if someone looks at you and goes, "Can I help you?" then that is someone about to kick
Got it.
off. Mhm.
Okay. So
Also, what you're looking at,
you
that's another pre-punch in the face line.
Yeah, I feel like that one's used here and pretty, like, you got a steering problem kinda
Yeah.
theme to it.
Take a picture, it'll
Um
last longer.
Um, did I tell you about the time I was at Windsor and I basically got screamed at by the docent in the church or whatever?
No.
Yeah, there was no photography, right, as they
Mhm.
say, and I pulled out my phone and I was, like, aiming my camera at Sean's sister. But the guy saw me and he, at the top of his lungs, in a very quiet, because it was like Westminster Abbey or whatever, but in
Yeah.
Windsor, so whatever the church is there, I think
Yeah.
where
Cathedral?
someone was buried there yeah, well, it wasn't a cathedral, I don't think. Maybe it was. It wasn't very big. Anyway, he screamed at the top of his lungs, "Madam!" So very politely
Yeah.
yelling so very loud at me, and he, like, marched up to me and did this kinda, like, army step and was like, "No photography!" And I was just like, "Oh my god," I didn't even actually take anything, and I wasn't taking a picture of anything in here, it was of her face, and, like, I'm sorry. It was The shame I felt?
Yeah.
I was like, "I need to get into one of these graves right now. Someone open it up so I can crawl in there and die. Because I
That British guards just told me off for taking a picture.
badly." And I still hear about it to this day, so that's nice.
Oh, you get reminded of that one.
Mhm. And I still see his face as he, like, marched up to me. That might
Oh.
have maybe caused some trauma.
Yeah, I was gonna say, your face is indicating that this goes deeper than
I don't like being yelled at. I think the embarrassment was, like, all the people looking at me because I know, like, people in Britain really don't like to make scenes like that.
Mm,
At
yeah,
least that's
you
kind of the
you
stereotype.
caused a scene, Kate.
I
That's what you
Yeah, I
did.
did.
I think everyone there was
Walking in the Queen's
embarrassed.
house.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
who do you think
probably.
you are?
I don't know. I've had just about enough of this conversation, though.
Sorry, I'm just abusing you whilst you're
It's
low.
okay. I deserve it. But do you think you could have just came up and, like, whispered to me, like, "Ma'am, no
That would have been
photography,
better,
please."
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would have listened. Would have probably been as equally ashamed because I don't like, doing things wrong. I don't,
Um,
Gemma.
yeah, whatever. Rebel.
You're right, I am. I actually do like to break the law. Breaking the law, breaking the law.
Beautiful. Did you
Thanks.
ever drink before you were 21?
No.
No. Do not do
No,
that.
I hope my parents aren't listening. No, yeah, I fucking did. Yeah, I did. A lot.
Is it easy to get booze out there before you're 21?
I never actually had to really try myself. It just like other people did it. And I think either it's because they had a sibling or a friend or a relative or a
Yeah.
parent even who was old enough and I'm not like other moms. I'm the cool mom as long as you
Yeah,
do it in the
yeah.
house kind of behavior.
Mhm.
But yeah, so and then when I was in college, like you could get into bars and stay in bars until like midnight if you were 18. But, like, no one was walking around looking for the 18-year-olds to kick them out, and you just found someone to buy you a drink,
Yeah.
you know?
Okay.
So, I don't think it was hard. I mean, certainly there was probably times where it's like, "Oh, a party's not happening, couldn't get any booze," but
It's
that was
weird. I
rare.
always thought that I just got the impression from what I see of American culture on, I guess, shows and movies that Americans just don't drink before they're 21. Like it's just not done. But I
Hmm.
must have that very wrong.
Well, you saw American Pie. Those kids were all in high school.
True. Actually, yeah, that's a very good point. Well made. Mm.
That's where the red cups come from, right? Those are the house parties.
Yep. I've got some of them for you so that you feel at home.
Oh, good. Thank
Mm.
you.
You're welcome.
You're not 21 until you're like, if you go to college, you're not 21 until like at least your like sophomore or junior year too. And so a lot of those college movies, I think those people, all those actors obviously are way over 21, but I think the idea is that that's all like kind of 18 to 22 years of
Yeah.
age. So then
Yeah,
there's the
yeah.
people who could buy the booze and then there's people who get fake IDs. I actually found someone's ID on the floor of a bar one year in college and like, you
Was it
know,
McLovin?
brown-haired white girl. Yes, it was. No, it was some brown-haired white girl who had similar height and weight and didn't look too far off of me, so it was passable. She was a couple years older.
Oh, nice.
And it worked until the bouncer's like, "This girl's in my class." I was like,
Jeez.
"Fuck."
Brilliant. Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah,
started drinking
he didn't.
at like 14.
Yeah.
Started going to pubs then. It was much easier to underage drink back in our day. Used to
Oh,
just go to the
how
pubs.
come?
I don't know, there were just some pubs that were relaxed about it and clearly just wanted the business, so would just let anyone in. And it was
Mm,
definitely easier for girls. We could just get a little bit dressed up, put some makeup on, and they'd just fucking let us in
mm,
and serve us. So it was fine. Um, so yeah, we were going out drinking rather early, really, and spent quite a few nights. Mum, don't listen to this. Just sort of passed out in the middle of a
puzzling.
field, you know, when I was actually meant to be
Yeah.
staying at a mate's house having a sleepover. But
Mhm. Yep, did that a few times.
Mhm. I also remember once there was a bunch of us down at our local rec, like the recreation ground. And I remember I got a couple bottles of wine, but no one had a bottle opener, obviously, because we were in the middle of a field. So I
No.
just smashed the end of the bottle, and we were all just drinking out of this like shard of smashed glass at the end of the fucking wine bottle. Classy chick, classy chick.
Who got injured or ingested glass that night?
Well, no one, as far as I can remember. So we did pretty
Nice.
well. Mm.
And that's why, kids at home, you go for the twist top wine, not the
Yes,
ones with corks. Your
exactly.
palate isn't refined enough to enjoy the expensive stuff anyways. Just get the Boone's Farm. It's
Yeah.
cheap and it'll get you drunk.
And in England, we have the Blossom Hill, so you can get that.
Oh, fucking basically the same thing, I'm sure.
Yeah, I imagine it probably is.
Really disgustingly sweet, pink, sometimes yellow, white.
Mhm, mhm.
Maybe there's a red.
Doesn't taste like wine, it just kind of tastes like alcoholic juice,
Sugar.
sugar,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mm.
Ugh.
Blah. Used to drink a lot of that.
I think that's why I like beer because Smirnoff Ice and, like, the malt beverages and the Mike's Hards and stuff just, like, were so gross to me.
Mm. I quite liked them because I didn't like the taste of alcohol when I was a kid. So anything that tasted
Mm.
like, yeah, WKD, Smirnoff Ice, anything like that was lovely. Bit of hooch. Oh,
A bit of hooch.
bit of hooch. I don't think our hooch is the same as your hooch.
Okay, because ours is literally like gasoline or lighter fluid.
Oh, really? Well, ours is like an
Yeah.
alcopop. Like, yeah, it's
Oh,
literally.
so it's just like a brand of booze called hooch?
But yeah, it's basically like alcoholic orange juice.
Oh.
So
Hmm.
it's quite
That would so
nice.
it's a screwdriver, pretty much. Hmm, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you tell me about, like, the kind of the vibes as you got older? So you could go to pubs underage, right? But then at some
Mhm.
point, you were of age,
Mm.
and then it was like, "Let's go to the club."
Let's go to the club. Bow, bow, bow.
Party in the club, pop on the bed.
Yeah. So yeah, so over here, obviously we have bars and pubs, but they tend to close around like 11 midnight. So then where do we go after that, Catherine? We
Mhm.
go to the club.
Okay, you pregame at the pub.
Well, we used to actually pre-game, pre-drink at home, then go to the pub, then go to the club.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Because a certain someone I know, who shall remain nameless, insists that pre-gaming was not a thing and always, like, bitched about that when, in my younger days, I did this or was trying to get this person to my husband is who I'm talking about, everyone.
Okay. What? He didn't pre-drink? Like, we spent most of our the whole point of it was because it was cheaper. So we could get
Yeah.
drunk at home, go to the pub and have a couple of drinks just to tide us over,
Mhm.
and then you're well on your way for a tenner.
Not according to Nigel.
Oh, maybe his friends didn't pre-drink, but me and the girls certainly did.
Now that I think about it, I think his bigger complaint was that pre-drinking started at, like, 9 or 10.
Yeah, it sometimes did, yeah.
Well, which would make sense, I guess, too, for us if bar close was later, because usually it's, like, 2 here, so if you start at 9, you go to the bar, and then you have until, like, well, I guess, like, 11 to 2 and right?
Mhm. But then you go to the club.
Our club's still closed at 2 as well. I think there was maybe some that could stay open a little bit later, but not anywhere that I grew up at, I don't think. I don't know. I don't go to clubs.
No, and well, suspect mainly because we briefly spoke about this earlier, that our clubs are different to your clubs, potentially.
Describe it to me.
So there tends to be a bouncer outside
Mhm.
who sometimes searches your bag, sometimes doesn't. Some clubs want you to pay like 14 quid to go in them. Bearing in mind they're usually open till 2, 3 in the morning. So you know, paying quite a hefty price for a 3-hour visit.
Mhm.
They're usually very dark, often below ground or above a venue. You walk in, can't see shit. The stairs are lit up by little lights. In the background, you can hear a beat pumping.
Floor is slightly sticky.
Floor is really sticky. Our local club, the floor was held together by duct tape, which was really classy.
But you couldn't see it because it was dark.
Exactly. It was only once you got stuck that you were like, "Oh, what's happening? Oh, it's duct tape on my feet." Um, yeah, they tend to be dark locations with very loud music where people dance and they're already very drunk, and you pay extortionate prices for drinks because they know they can get away with it.
So those are you described our clubs too. Turns out they're the
Okay,
same.
great.
There were a couple places in college that, like, really wanted to be that kind of club. One was called the Union. Um, I had a boyfriend that worked there as, like, bouncer slash or door guy, I guess, because they wanted to be classy and they'd make the door guys wear, like, suits and stuff,
Yeah.
and, um, there would be cover, or maybe if you knew someone or if it was, like, ladies' night or whatever, you wouldn't have to pay cover. It was kind of multi-floored. There was dance space. It was dark. Everything was very gross and dirty still though, because, like, it's the club where people are getting fucked up and, like, the
Yeah.
staff also probably are getting fucked up, and they're also the staff is, like, college students. So, we had a couple of those. And yeah, it was, like, watered down drinks, people hooking
Shots.
up in corners because it was kinda dark. I think they even had, like, a
Yeah.
Studio 54 night, which is kinda gross.
Wow. Yum.
Yeah. Mhm. Give me a good old pub any day.
Yeah. Damn right. We also have quite like a binge drinking culture here. So people
Mm.
get, I mean, I'm sure it happens everywhere, but apparently we're famous for it. Who knew? Um,
Way biz, get the biz in, son.
but on
Right?
average, yeah, get busy, let's way.
Thank you.
So apparently Brits are among the world's biggest drinkers, each downing the equivalent of 525 pints of beer a year.
Oh, I bet I'm up there. Just kidding. Yeah, I think we have a binge drinking culture too, to a certain extent. It's very much like colleges, right? If you were to look up, like, the biggest drinking cities here, it would be a lot of the college towns, and a lot of them
Yeah.
would be in the Midwest. And I think when I went to college, like, my college was in the top 5 biggest party schools, you know? Um,
Party!
yeah, and I think that it the older you get, I think the more removed you get from it, right?
Yeah.
Um, or ideally. Uh,
Unless you're a
one,
raging
because
alcoholic.
Yeah. One, because, like, for me, hangovers are a thing.
Mhm.
2, like, you do start to notice that your metabolism isn't quite the same as when you were in college.
Yeah.
And 3, like, yeah, it's really bad for you too. So,
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever gone to
You
the
start to care about your liver.
Yep, or you go to the doctor or whatever, and they're like, "How many alcoholic beverages would you have in a week? Would you say you, you know, drink more than 5 in a given setting?" And stuff like
Mm.
that, and so, not that that doesn't mean it's not bad for, like, college kids either, but definitely big drinking culture, but I've noticed about being in England and just kind of seeing TV and stuff is they're, like, going down the pub and having a pint
Yeah.
is not like, that could be a daily occurrence for people, and it
Yeah.
wouldn't really be that big of a deal.
No. Yeah, there's plenty of people that, yeah, will go out the pub every night for a drink or 5, and that's just British culture, man.
Who Yep,
It's just
who they
accepted.
are.
Mhm.
I think for us, it's kind of like, is there anything else to do? So,
Yeah.
some of the heaviest drinking cities in America as of July 2023, I'll have you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them are in Wisconsin, which is just a stone's throw away from where I'm at.
Brilliant.
2 are in Minnesota, several are in Iowa, so all these states that are in, like, my life or
Mm.
near my life. North Dakota, and then there's a random Arkansas, a random New York, and Montana. Oh, Nebraska's on here too.
Hmm. You just come from all the drinky places. That's why you fit in so well here.
Yeah, I think that's
Mm.
exactly it. I can hold
Yeah.
my own. Maybe. No one at me about that who knows me.
You're a great chugger.
Great chugger, go to bed right after.
Do you want to do an Am I the Arsehole?
You know I do, baby.
Woo! Wow, 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 wow. I have to read this one in a voice because I just feel like it's necessary.
What region of the country are we hailing from for this one,
Well,
Gemma?
I don't know. I just get the impression that she's possibly British, but a twat.
Okay, perfect.
So
But
that's
like a
how I'm going
chav
to read
twat
it.
or like an Essex chat or like
Oh,
a
you'll see.
Yorkshire chat. Okay.
Am I the asshole for thinking my friend is very ungrateful for cat sitting while she's away? See what I mean?
Yep.
Okay. My friend asked me to cat sit for her while she and her mum went to the cottage. It was initially supposed to be 4 to 5 days, and despite being allergic to cats, I'm not a cat owner myself, I love her cats and they love me, so I said yes. I was supposed to feed them once a day and play with them a bit. On the day of her leaving, she sent me a text saying she was worried about the plants outside her mum's room. To be honest, I didn't take it very seriously because it was supposed to rain a fair bit. One of her cats typically goes outside, and she told me to let him out. Because I'm scared of losing him, I kept inside the first 2 days, and on day 2, I get a picture from her of a coyote with a cat in its mouth, and she says that the neighbour sent it to her. I tell her that her cats are safe because I haven't let them out for this exact reason. Also, I plan to let him out tomorrow because he was very antsy to leave the house. I'm not fucking surprised if you kept him indoors for fucking 2 days. Um, the next day comes and her cat suddenly refuses to go outside and is acting depressed. I text her to let her know. She doesn't seem that concerned and says they never left the cats alone for so long, so it's normal. On the day she's supposed to come back, she texts and says that she'll be back Friday, 2 extra days. At this point, because I'm allergic and one of her cats is shedding like crazy, my husband is coming with me every day to help brush the cats and remove the fur so it's not all over her house. She also informs me about these extra days by way of, please take the trash out tomorrow, texting me the next morning of, which I don't see because I'm working. On Friday, I get another text saying she'll be back Saturday because of her mum's health. And the next day, I get a bunch of pictures and texts of what's this? Why are my plants not watered? Why is this angel in my water fountain askew? Followed by 5 hours later, receiving pictures of the litter box and OMG because the cats have pooped a fair bit in 10 days. Am I the arsehole for thinking it's totally unreasonable just to assume that a non cat owner would just manage your house for a while you're away and know what to do? Especially when she was away for 10 days. At no point did she leave instructions to clean the litter box or water the plants, and I have no idea how she got her statue so askew because I was never in the backyard.
Um, was that like a kind of an Adele Londoner accent or
Yeah,
more
I guess it was kind
Essex?
of a kind of posh Londoner. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
That's what I thought. Well, she sounds hideous. I on one hand, like, as someone who's asked people to do things while I'm out of town, I am very clear about my expectations and what I need so that they can be like, "Yeah, I'm not doing that. You're gonna have to find someone else." Or at least ask if they're willing to do something. And so, I think if I'm gonna be cat sitting, I'm probably gonna have to change the litter box. Like, that is
Yeah.
something I realize about cats.
Yeah.
And she said, "I love her cats and they love me even though I'm allergic." So that tells me at least she has an understanding about how cats fucking work, and if she doesn't let them go outside, they're probably gonna use the litter box more, right?
Yeah.
So
Unless
that's a
you
bit
toilet
dumb
train
of
them,
her.
but
Y Yeah, and I think most people don't. So that's a bit dumb of her, and I think it's not unreasonable for the person to be like, "You didn't scoop the litter box at all." But again,
fucking
I
stinks in
guess
here.
yeah, I guess maybe it's kinda her fault for not saying, "I usually if the cats don't go outside, I clean their litter box, twice 2 to 3 times a week because they will go outside, but if they're not, then,
Yeah.
maybe once a day, whatever. Could you scoop it a couple times while I'm gone?" And then when she extended her stay, asking permission, like, would you mind taking out the trash for me since I'm staying a little longer? I'm really sorry for the inconvenience. I'd really appreciate it. I'll pay you for your trouble,
Yeah.
whatever. But this person seems really fucking stupid. And she did mention the plants, and she's just like, "Well, not my problem because it's gonna rain." Or I didn't take her seriously. I guess like you're kind of just a shitty house watcher, cat sitter
Yeah.
lady.
You've done a shit job,
Yeah.
basically.
Big time. And so I don't know. I guess could have done a better job on both sides, but I also just think like if you're house sitting, maybe do what you would at least want other people to do for you. If that's like the
Yeah,
bare minimum, like wash your teacup,
exactly. Treat thy neighbour how you wish to be treated. I don't know if that's the saying.
treat thy neighbor like thy wish thy
Thy
would
to
be
be thy
treat
treated.
thouest. I think you should do all of the "Am I the assholes" in an accent, though. Just basically
Okay,
get a
I
vibe for
will.
who you think the person is.
Yeah.
I would agree that person is obviously British. I mean, she said mum and the cat's going outside and stuff.
Yeah, but then she did mention the coyote, which I was like, "Oh, no, this must be in America. We don't have coyotes here." But
Hmm.
maybe she's a
I
Brit
don't
in
know.
America. I just got a very British snobbish vibe from her, so
Do you think it could have been like a badger and she was just really dumb?
could have been, yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Now, if there's no coyotes, then it wouldn't have been. Hmm.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the general consensus on this one is that everyone's an asshole, or everyone sucks rather,
Yeah,
because
good.
she's a twat and sounds like an idiot. Surprised the cats were alive by the time my friend came back, but also like you can't just get
Friend was
someone.
taking the piss a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so everyone sucks on that one. But I hope you enjoyed my accent.
Yeah, and let me just say, if you were to ever have me come over to like watch your dogs or check on them, or if you have a cat or whatever, like, I will do things that make sense that you have not asked me to do as well.
Oh, will you?
So, I will know how to take care of your house and your pets.
Awesome. I mean, whenever I have someone look after Jess, I write like
Yeah,
essentially a manual of
yeah,
how to look after her, what to do, what food to give her, when, you
yeah.
know.
Especially dogs are cats too, but, like, dogs I know kind of maybe have a little bit more strict feeding schedule, you know? I think people are less likely to just, like, free feed their dogs.
Yeah.
Um, I don't do that with Lucy either because she will eat everything
Just
and then
eat.
act like she's
Yeah.
starving still. Yeah. But, cats are, you just kinda come in, you feed them, you scoop the litter box, you make sure they're okay, you maybe pet them a little bit, do the laser pointer, whatever. It's not hard.
No,
Um,
they're
so
easily
I think
pleased.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be an idiot, lady, sir, whatever,
Whoever
guy,
you are.
buddy.
Cool. Well, I think that's all we've got time for, ladies and gentlemen.
If you feel like we just chatted a bunch of shit about shit, you are right because that is what this podcast is about.
Yeah.
And Gemma and I are both tired and still recovering from our long weekends.
Correct. So if you would like to help us out, just send some content, ideas, stories, dilemmas. If you're wondering if you're an asshole, then just give us a little email at talkshittous@gmail.com or hit us up on the socials, as people call it now, socials, at
Socials.
TSYB Pod. We're on Insta, TikTok, Twitter,
Twitter. X.
X. X marks the spot. And also, if you really do want to be really nice and help us out, we'd be so grateful if you could give us a follow or click the little bell on Spotify or the subscribe button on Apple or wherever you get your playlists, because then you'll get notified of our new episodes and you won't miss all of our informative and uh, interesting, heartwarming, funny conversations.
And if you're old school, handwrite a letter to your friend and be sure to handwrite out the full link for Apple Podcast or Spotify so that they can then go and type it into their computer and look us up. That would be kind of fun, right? No one handwrites letters anymore.
I'd love to receive a handwritten letter.
I'll write you one.
Oh, please do. Can we be pen pals? Oh, I got very
Do we just
excited.
become best friends? Yep.
Right. Well, on that note, thanks for listening again, everyone, and we'll see
Have a
you
good
soon.
one. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see you soon. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.